Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another vlog. So today I'm going to be kind of going over exactly what you need to be looking for when meeting in person to buy an iPhone or Android device so you guys don't get scammed. So when going to meet somebody, obviously you want to meet in a safe location, meet in a place where there's cameras. I've heard a lot of bad stories with people trying to meet in parking lots, in cars, being held up with guns, stuff like that, and it's easily avoidable by just picking a location where there's multiple people, like a Starbucks or a grocery store inside, where there's just a bunch of cameras, and then the person person selling you the phone wouldn't even want to think about trying to rob you of your money. So there's a bunch of things that I'm going to go over, so let's get into it. So the first thing is actually when getting the phone, you want to first make sure the model. This is pretty standard. I mean, if you've been doing it for a while or even in the beginning, you should probably have a pretty good knowledge of what Apple products look like based on their generation. But you look at phones like the 7 and 6, they kind of have similar tendencies, similar size with the 6, 6 Plus, 6S, and the 7 and 7 Plus. So you can get tricked on that end. So just make sure, have some knowledge going into these meetings of exactly what the phone should look like. That's a standard, the first thing you should look for. Second would be to look for the gigabytes. There's been times where people have tried to screw me on saying it's this gigabytes, a higher amount than it actually is. So go into the settings, general and about, and you can see the amount of gigabytes that the whole phone holds once reset. Third would be carrier. It's a little bit harder to check, but if you have an extra SIM card that's different than the carrier of the iPhone that you're buying, then you should put that new chip in, and if it doesn't allow it to read it, that means it's locked to that carrier, whatever that other person had it in. So that's a good way to know. Other than that, it's kind of tough, and you just kind of have to take your word for it on that sense. But the fourth point I'm going to go over is the condition of the phone. This is where I start to get some of the deals that I do and get such low price to get a higher margin or higher profit on my products. Is I'll always negotiate to a lower price when I'm actually there. They go in thinking that they're going to get this X amount, and then when you tell them that it's not as good as you had expected, this is an extra tip for you guys, because it's great to learn how to sell something and being able to work someone down on the price, as well as be able to just work down prices in general. So that'll help your business just getting more profits over time, and it will add up quickly. But just working them down, I always go into the conversation at some point talking with somebody selling me their iPhone that it's not as good as I expected. So just check the condition. 99% has worked for me in terms of they need the cash, like they don't want to deal with the hassle of bargaining in person. A lot of people think it's very awkward to do so, so if you take advantage of that and throw them off guard, you're going to get a lot cheaper price for that iPhone, just because they don't want to deal with the hassle of it. So the fifth point is actually checking on if it's iCloud locked or not. And this is a big mistake that I made in the beginning, but you can tell when you get the phone, if somebody's signed into iCloud and they can't log out, that means that it's probably stolen, to be honest, because they don't know the password. But if it's their phone, just make sure you have them lock out of their iCloud and then delete all their settings if they haven't done so already. Because that devalues the phone. It creates the iCloud locked if you watch my video on whether I buy those or not, and I don't. So that'll determine if I'm actually going to buy that phone or not in the end. And then finally is just to make sure all the buttons work. Make sure it's not refurbished. You can still resell refurbished phones. I do all the time. It's just, you can usually tell because the screen will be coming off a little bit. It doesn't feel right when you press the middle button or the finger scanner. It should feel like not as smooth. You kind of just know the feeling. Make sure the buttons aren't sticky. Some aren't sticking in, because that's sometimes I've seen phones that have been handed to me where they've been sticky, the buttons haven't worked, so I've had to devalue the phone greatly, because if those buttons don't work, it's a necessary part of the phone. Like, you don't need it, but when you're selling it, you don't want to not realize that the parts of the phone are defective, and then ultimately sell something and then have it returned, and you're paying extra fees, extra shipping, stuff like that. So If you find value in the video, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to join the family, click that little notification button to get updated every time I post a video. I'm on the grind, guys, so posting every single day. I'm giving you guys value, giving you guys tips to really make money at any age. So with that said, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow in the next video.